Hugo activates his unique version of Metavision. All the while, after 2 years, the Bench Bros are finally getting playtime. Blue Lock Chapter 338 has released, and this chapter by far is one of the better ones that we've seen in this game against France. So the chapter starts right where the last one left off, with Hugo asking Isagi, "Listen up, and I'll tell you about my ego as second best." With the narrator saying Hugo speaks the true essence of number 2, sending the meaning of this view ego to the enemy. As we see Kamoki pass the ball to that of Hugo, unable to get by Ren. Hugo with the ball, telling Isagi in the first place about being number 2 second best. You're thinking it's just someone who couldn't become number 1, right? That's where you're wrong. You guys are conditioned to believe that you have to be number 1, but you're just being brainwashed by that bowl cut 4 eyes. With Isagi saying, "Shut up, be quiet, I don't want to hear it. Not your twisted personal theories." As Hugo tries to get away from Isagi, he says, "The way you use your talent, don't you ever feel like it's just a waste?" As Isagi thinks back to Bado, Yukimiya, and Hiyori for some reason. As Hugo continues saying, "Ever since I can remember, it's always been that way." As we get a flashback to Hugo's childhood, with him saying, "Everyone, why is it that without properly knowing themselves, they want to do things they can't do? They live their lives craving things that are out of their reach. It just makes me itch." As we see him in a classroom and him in current day standing between cogs. As we cut back to the main game, he passes to that of Charles. Continuing saying, "That's why I tell people I meet, if you do it like this, you'll get much better. If you do it like this, you can beat this guy. Or if you do it like this, you'll be more popular. Or even if you do it like this, you'll be more loved." As if he could know that strictly by looking at somebody, knowing nothing about them or what they do. Isagi then states in the next page, "What the hell is that? Gross, you're just self-centered meddling nuisance." Hugo responds by saying, yes, exactly. This is something I want to do, so it's fine if I'm hated for it. It's not charity, but it's not spreading malice either," as Charles kicks the ball back to that of Hugo. As in the next double page, Hugo stops the ball with his chest, continuing by saying, "Fate changes by the simple fact of meeting me. Creating that kind of person is irresistibly interesting." As Isagi says, "This guy, he's a little like me." As Hugo continues saying, "That is the joy of living, right? As for me, Isagi Oichi." As he tries to get away from Isagi, he states, "I want to know the meaning of why I was born into this world," as Reo, Aiku, and Kurosu are realizing that Hugo is free. Hugo then stating, "My talent is better suited for changing others to make the world turn." As he rushes down the field, Loki and Charles are there to assist him. Hugo states, "As the second best and as a midfielder, I want to win the World Cup. Do you know, Yoichi Isagi, the record for the most World Cup titles in human history is 3 times the record held by the king of soccer, Pele." With Loki telling Hugo, "Come on, Hugo," with Charles saying, "Just kidding, this way." As Hugo activates his own unique metavision looking like a cog. With Hugo saying, "That's why I want to win the World Cup 4 times. As he's about to shoot the ball, with cogs as an aura circling around him, and his aura turning into that of a machine. As in the next page, Hugo shoots instead of passing it to Loki and Charles, going for his own goal. As he states, "I'll become a legend of humanity." As Kurosu says, "What? He's taking all the pass courses his teammates created and turning them into decoys?" As Gagamaru says, "So you're the one shooting." As Gagamaru misses it and Hugo ends up scoring. As the commentator screams goal, saying France 2, Blue Lock Japan 1. Isagi saying, "It's huge. So that Hugo dream, it's not a matter of being number 1 or number 2 anymore." As in another double page, we see it's halftime and Hugo looks to Isagi saying, "Even with this, do you still hate being second best?" As Isagi says, his dream is bigger, he's smarter, and he's even more egotistic than me. As we see a somewhat similar look to what Nagi had with his aura and a skull, only this time it's Hugo with the machine aura. As in the final page of Blue Lock Chapter 338, the narrator states, U20 World Cup, 3rd match, Japan versus France. End of the first half. With Ego saying, "Get ready, you're going in for the second half." Double Joker. The Brat and the Demon perform together. Double Joker in, as both Bado and Shido will be subbed in for the second half. Now, who they're subbing in for, it might be Isagi and Rin, or maybe it's Kurosu and Hiyori. I don't know. But I just know that this locker room talk is going to be absolute hell for Isagi and everybody on the field. That or Isagi is going to say something to Ego, questioning his entire ideal, or something Ego states will be philosophical, which will cause Blue Lock to have a better second half. The narrator also states the unpredictable and toxic duo will descend upon the battlefield starting from the second half. So maybe it'll be Ren, Isagi, Bato, and Shido on the field. I don't know how that's going to play out, but if that's the case, I don't see this working out. All in all, unbelievable chapter. Hugo's philosophy is still shit, as it doesn't make any sense. Even if he scored, that doesn't necessarily mean it makes sense or works. You don't know somebody strictly just by looking at them, telling them what they can and can't do with no prior knowledge. Some will argue it's somewhat different in the sense of soccer, but even then, what do you know? You have no right to tell somebody what they can and can't do because you think that's the case. And it honestly isn't just for soccer. He states that this has been a thing since he was a child, and it just happens to work out for him because it's fate, which again, I call bullshit. There is definitely a flaw to that, and that flaw will be exposed in the second half. But the metavision design and the fact that he's like cyborg and the aura is a cog, that was so cool. That has to be the second best design in terms of metavision I've seen next to Isagi's. Loki can't do shit. Hugo's taking over the field. Isagi still hasn't done anything. And Bato and Shido are being subbed in. This chapter has just escalated the stakes to the max.